When an interpreter walks into a medical situation, especially one in a hospital setting, she or he enters a unique cultural landscape, one complete with its own hierarchical relationships, protocol, procedures, and language. What skills does a medical interpreter need to navigate this terrain? First, be familiar with the power dynamics of the different players involved and their roles in the medical setting. In addition to one or more physicians, you will often encounter specialists, fellows, residents, interns, nurses, the triage nurse, and medical assistants. Especially in Boston, with its many teaching facilities, often neither the first or the second person to interview a patient is the actual physician with the authority. Doctors are not used to having a knowledgeable outsider adding to the patient in the room, and their reactions run the gamut from feeling threatened to welcoming your presence. It is important to know when this dynamic is occurring and to be able to deal with a physician who feels threatened without giving up your power. In the position of Allie to a deaf patient, an interpreter can often get more time, slow down the pace of the appointment, and get clear explanations if the interpreter knows how to use the influence they have. And often the interpreter functions as a member of the medical team, especially in trauma and operating situations. Background knowledge is vital. A college level, varied science background is helpful. A solid working knowledge of anatomy and physiology, for most, this means coursework, is absolutely necessary, and a pathophysiology course helps an interpreter have the requisite grasp for the work. You also need to have the ability within that larger framework to learn quickly as you go along when you find yourself in a situation confronting a disease or treatment that is unfamiliar to you. To fill in the gaps, you must have that anatomical, physiological schema of how the body and its organs function and interrelate to know what questions to ask to clarify your interpretation. For everyone's safety, including your own, you should be familiar with medical tests, procedures, and equipment. For example, medical interpreters need to know that a cardiac catheterization procedure involves extensive radiation, that the interpreter will frequently be standing near the patient's head and chest without the protection of the lead shield that the doctors are standing behind. You have to be very assertive and make sure that they give you a neck shield as well as a lead apron.